Hi everyone, it's Michelle. Welcome back. So it's been a little while since I made a video. I apologize. I have been busy, and then for the last week I have been sick with a really nasty head cold, chest cold kind of thing, which you might hear remnants of. I'm still a little bit stuffy and that kind of thing, but I'm feeling much better, so I thought I would come on today and do a quick weight loss update. A lot of people have been asking what's going on because I haven't done an update in quite a while, so I thought today was a great day to come on and do that. So it's been 5 weeks since the last time I talked to you about my weight, and at that time my weight loss was I had lost a total of 92 pounds. Since that time, so that was like the 19th of March, since that time I have lost another 4.2 pounds for a total weight loss of 96.2 pounds. And for those of you who've been watching my videos, you know my goal was to lose 95 pounds. And I'm so excited that I hit that goal. The day that it happened, the day I stepped on the scale and saw the number for the first time, I was very excited. I, let out a big cheer, of course, because I was so excited to see the number. And then, then I shed a few tears because it's been a very long journey, difficult at times, and I felt like I had been through a lot, and just accomplishing something so big that I had tried to accomplish for so long, just kind of made me emotional. So shed some tears that day as well. It's been a little over a week since I actually hit that number, and then I was sick, and so I haven't been able to come on and talk to you about it. But since that time, I've actually lost another 1.2 pounds. I'm not really. My goal was to lose 95 pounds, and I'm very satisfied and very excited that I did that. I don't feel my journey is over. I'm not concerned about losing any more weight, but now for me it's about finding a balance of eating and exercising so that I can maintain my healthy weight. I did want to share a few stats with you because I've been measuring along the way as well, and I thought it would be fun to share some of those stats with you as well. So first of all, I want to say I have lost well over 40% of my body weight. So I'm not quite half the person I used to be, but I've lost well over 40% of my body weight. So that's a lot. That makes me very excited. And from an inches perspective, I've lost a total of 66 inches from my body, which when I first started thinking about that number, I go, well, that doesn't sound like very much. And then I thought about it. 66 inches is 5.5 feet. And I am only 62 inches tall. So I've lost more inches than my actual height. So that puts that number a little bit in perspective for me as well, and I'm very excited about that. And I thought I would share just a few of my stats around the inches I've lost. So I'll start with the biggest ones. Off my waist, so my waist now is 26.5 inches. I mean, really, that's exciting. I started at 40 inches. My waist was 40 inches when I started. So I have lost 13.5 inches off my waist, and that's a huge number, so I thought I would show you. That is 13.5 inches. That's how much bigger my waist used to be. I am so excited about that. I mean, when you carry weight around your middle, it's visceral fat that's just taxing your organs, and so to lose that much off my waist, I'm so excited about that. That is a huge number to lose off your waist, but it also, from a health perspective, is very exciting to get all that fat off my midsection where all my organs are, and it becomes very dangerous when you carry weight there. I also lost, my hips are now at 34, but they started at a 47. So I lost 13 inches, so slightly less than what I lost off my waist. I lost 13 inches off my hips as well, which is very exciting. I'll take that. But you can see I'm a curvy girl. My waist is 26 and a half. My hips are 34. My chest, of course, got smaller, which, you know, that's just sort of a byproduct of losing weight. My chest is 9 inches smaller than when I started. For those of you who are curious, my bra size went down incredibly, which is sad. I was a 42 double D. I'm now a 32C. So, but we can always fix that if I decide I want to. I lost 3.5 inches off each bicep, which is nice. Toned my arms. And my thighs, which this is another exciting number for me, off each thigh I lost 7.5 inches. So that's that much. My thighs are this much smaller than they used to be. So that is very exciting. So I thought I would share some of those stats. Sorry, my nose is itching. So I thought I would share some of those stats with you as well, because I've been measuring from the beginning. I think it's very important to measure. I measured on a very regular basis so I could see how my body was changing. And I think if you're on this journey, it's very important to do that. I measured about once a month. The beginning of every month, I would take my measurements just so you can see how your body's changing. It's really important because the scale doesn't always move as much as you think it, should. But when you measure, you can tell when your body is having changes that you're not seeing on the scale. So I think it's really, really important. And I thought I would share those stats with you as well. So what does that mean now? First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone, really, who has supported me and been on this journey with me and encouraged me. It has been so helpful to have everybody pulling for me and cheering for me. I'm not sure I would have made it all the way had it not been for everybody cheering me on. When I started losing weight, I didn't talk about it on YouTube until I had already lost 60 pounds. And the reason I didn't talk about it in the beginning is because I was terrified I wasn't going to be successful. And then when people started really noticing, 60 pounds is very noticeable, and asking, I felt like, I should talk about it and tell people what was going on. And then once I did that, I felt like I've got to keep going to make my goal because everybody knows now what I'm doing. So it was really helpful to have everybody encouraging me and supporting me and pulling for me. It really, really was. So thank you to everybody who has been so supportive. And a lot of you have, shared with me, things to eat and help me, add some new foods to my diet. And a lot of people have shared with me, exercise tips and new exercise things to try. And all of that was so, so helpful. So thank you to everyone. And I also want to say, for me, my journey is not over, right? For a couple of reasons. First of all, I have some fitness goals that I want to achieve that I haven't achieved yet. And I'm going to continue to work on those. I still want to sculpt my arms. I want to have really sculpted deltoids and biceps. I want to have a very sculpted look to my arms so that when I have short sleeves on, my arms look really nice. So that's a goal of mine, and I'm going to continue to pursue that. I'm also, I also believe that I have some fat to burn off my thighs, my hips and thighs, and so I'm going to continue to work on that as well. So that doesn't end for me. And the other reason the journey doesn't end for me is that the hard part, now I feel a little bit like the hard part is about to begin, because now, you kind of go, oh, I met my goal, and you take this big breath and let it out, and you kind of relax. But statistics show that people who lose weight, this amount of weight, most of them, the vast majority of them, depending on the study you read, it's more than 80%, gain it all back. And so that is a huge fear of mine, becoming one of those statistics. So I am, very committed to maintaining my weight loss. And I think continuing to talk about it and continuing to talk about my journey will be important to helping me do that. It is my big fear now. I feel almost like this is going to be the hardest part for me because, you know, the losing part is done, and now I've got to find a balance of, you know, continuing to eat right, but adding a little bit more food in, continuing to exercise because I have some fitness goals, and, you know, stopping the weight loss because I really don't want to lose any more weight, but, you know, sort of not gaining it back either. And so, you know, I've got to work through that over the next few weeks, figuring out how I'm going to accomplish that and do all that in my daily life. And, you know, I'll continue to share those kinds of things with you, but it is a big fear of mine. I know that statistically, you know, I have been driven by data my whole life. It's what I've done, you know, and statistics are very predictive, and the statistics say I'm going to gain my weight back. So I'm going to do everything in my power not to do that. I am going to still weigh myself every single day. And I know a lot of people find that frustrating because you have fluctuations, but it's okay to have fluctuations. You know, you start to learn, look, at this time of the month, my body's going to hold a little extra water, so I should expect to see a pound or two. But if it's not that time of the month and I'm seeing, you know, a pound or two, there's a reason for that. And is it that, you know, I'm slipping up a little on my food, I'm eating too much salt, maybe too much sugar, maybe I've, you know, relaxed too much in my workouts, and that kind of thing. And, you know, I've made the commitment to myself that I'm not going to, I'm going to manage myself within 2 pounds of my goal weight. That's what I've decided. And a lot of people are going to tell me that that's too small a number. But I feel like 5 pounds is too much. When I think about how long it takes to lose 5 pounds, I'm not going to let myself do it. I'm going to manage myself in a 2 pound window. And my goal is also that at the middle of every month, I will be at my goal weight. So, you know, if there's holidays, or if I've had people in town, or if I've been traveling and, you know, maybe my eating wasn't on target as much as it should be, you know, my promise to myself is that I'm going to get back to my goal weight by the middle of every month. And so hopefully that will allow me to maintain my weight for the rest of my life. That is my goal, to be at this weight for the rest of my life. And I know there will be challenges to that, you know, with vacations or injuries, or, you know, menopause is coming. I know that's going to be a challenge for me, but I feel like I've set myself up well to be successful. So I'm going to work very hard at it. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. The other thing I thought I would share is I get a lot of questions about, you know, sort of tips and stuff, and I've talked about a lot of things in all my videos. So what I thought I would talk about today is, you know, the little things. So this journey has been long, right? And I have had to be very disciplined to keep my weight loss moving. And my weight loss has continued at a fairly consistent rate. And I attribute that to me being so relentless about the journey. You know, people ask me about cheat meals. I think you shouldn't have a whole cheat meal if you are on a weight loss journey. I think that if you want to have a part of the meal that maybe doesn't fit your healthy lifestyle, then do that. But don't go and splurge on a whole meal, because that could set you back for a week. So be careful about that. If you feel like you need to cheat, and when I felt like I needed to cheat, I did. But it was a couple of bites. It was not a meal. If I wanted a cheeseburger, I would order one, and I would take a couple bites of it, and then I would eat vegetables. Because typically all you need is a couple bites to satiate you and to, you know, sort of push back that that need to have it. I think if you don't have it, you're setting yourself up for failure. So you do need to give in to those cravings a little bit, but try not to make it a whole meal. And if you do stumble, get right back on. What happens so many times is people stumble a little bit. They eat something bad, they have a bad day, and then they don't get right back to their healthy journey. They they go, you know, maybe it's Wednesday or Thursday and you had a bad day and you ate a bunch of crap. So you just kept eating crap all day. And then you thought, well, it's the middle of the week. I might as well just eat crap until Monday. Don't do that. If you have a bad, if you have something bad, accept that you did it, forgive yourself for it, and move on. But don't let that derail you. That is the most important thing in my book. First of all, food, you're not going to lose your weight by exercising. You're not. You have to get it. You've got to get the food right. And so when you have slip-ups in your food, you've got to get right back to healthy food. You got to drink plenty of water. You got to not eat processed foods. Get all of that garbage out of your diet. There's nothing in it that's good for you anyway. It's not doing your body any favors, and it's not doing your future body any favors. That's for sure. So, try to eat healthy 90% of the time. I tried to eat healthy 100% of the time, and once in a while have a slip up because I just wanted to lose the weight and change my body. And so I decided I was going to be relentless about it. And if I needed to cheat, it was going to be a couple of bites. So you've got to figure out what works for you. But if I could guide you one way, it's just to get it over with and get back to healthy eating. And then I know how hard it is. I know all day long there's food in front of you, and most of it is not something you should be eating. I get that. I have a house full of food. My husband does not eat the way I eat. So I've got chips and cookies and pies and all of that nonsense, soda, all of that is in my house. But I have to be strong enough to avoid it or say no to it. And quite frankly, once you've been off of it, when you go back and eat it, it doesn't really taste that good anyway. It doesn't. I used to be a soda addict. And now when I take a sip of my husband's soda, it doesn't taste good. It's way too sweet and way too carbonated for me. Chips are so salty that I can't even stand to eat them because they taste so salty. Packaged cookies are not that good. So if you buy packaged cookies for your kids or they're in your house, they don't really taste that good. If you bite into one and really try and get the flavor from it, it doesn't taste that good. A real cookie baked at a bakery or that you bake might be worth having, but that packaged cookie is not. And if you're having a moment where you feel like you're going to eat something, you're standing in the kitchen and you're about to put it in your mouth, put it down and go for a walk or go clean the bathroom or go call someone that you haven't talked to in a while. It's worth it. You just have to distract yourself. I get the same cravings as everybody else. I'm not an angel, believe me. I weighed well over 200 pounds and I got that way eating really bad food. So I know, I've been there, I get it. But the best thing is to walk away from it because it just starts you on a path. And then you feel bad about yourself because you ate it, and that makes you, just decide you're going to eat more of it. So just don't do it. Just don't do it until you can get to the point where I'm just going to have 2 bites of that. And then you can let it go. And that's kind of where I am now. I'm to the point where when I look at something and I think, I really crave that, I try to walk away from it. And if I still have the urge, then I go have a couple bites. And then that's it. And that really has helped me get through this journey because I know, if I absolutely want it, just go have a couple bites of it and put it out of your mind. Otherwise, you're going to stew over it. But I try not to have it. And then my other tip is to brush your teeth. If you want to eat something, go brush your teeth because nothing tastes good anyway after you brush your teeth. It just doesn't. So I brush my teeth a lot because that keeps me from eating things I shouldn't be eating. And then the other thing is that I try to think about now, the reason I did this was for my health. Not that I had any health issues. I'm very lucky that I didn't have high blood pressure, I didn't have high cholesterol. Even though I was obese, I didn't have any of those problems. But I also witnessed, several people, friends and family who are close to me who aren't as healthy as I am. And when I looked, I have really healthy family and I have really unhealthy family. And when I look at the differences, it's a weight thing. And I do not, my biggest fear is being a sick old person. And I talked about this in my first video. God willing, I am going to be an old person. And I want to be the healthiest old person I can be, right? I didn't work this hard all my life to finally be where I am and then not be able to do the things I want to do because I'm too sick or I'm too overweight that I can't do them. And so that's why I went on this journey, and that's why I was so dedicated, because I knew that that was never going to change, that if I didn't lose the weight, I was not going to be a healthy old person. And so now I feel like I've set myself up to be the healthiest old person I can be. Yes, there's going to be challenges. Everybody's going to go through those challenges as we age. But I feel like by putting the right foods in my body and continuing to put the right foods in my body, because I'm not going to change how I eat. I may add a few more calories. We'll see how it goes. But my body's getting the nourishment that it needs, and it's not being challenged by processed foods, too much sugar, and that kind of thing. And, I'm going to continue to work out, because keeping the body in motion is very, very important to maintaining your muscle mass and maintaining a strong body. And as you get older, it's important to have a strong body. So I'm on my soapbox again, I know. So I just wanted to share that with those of you who are struggling. Like, really, think about the reason you started and don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. I made a promise to myself that I was going to get here. I was going to get this done. And when I think about it, I wouldn't break a promise to a friend or someone I cared about. So why would I break it to myself, of all people? And that's what I kept going back to. Like, you promised yourself. You promised yourself you were going to do this. So if that's what it takes, promise yourself. Or promise some loved one in your life that you're going to do this for you. And let that person remind you when you stumble, because you're going to stumble. Do not expect perfection. I mean, I didn't talk about all of my stumbles, but believe me, I had them. I did. I didn't have days of them, but I had them. And it's important to forgive yourself and just move on. So that's kind of what I wanted to say today. I wanted to share with you my good news, share with you some of my stats, so hopefully you enjoyed hearing some of that, and then just sort of share, some of my tips about how to stick with it, because mine took me basically 17 months. So it was not a short journey. And that's a long time to try to stay motivated. But I have to tell you, you just have to promise yourself and keep doing it, because every single half a pound is going to continue to add up. And even if it doesn't go as quickly as mine did, what if next year you're 20 pounds lighter, and the year after that you're 20 pounds lighter? You're making progress, and you're going to feel so much better. So don't give up on you. Hang in there. All the little wins will add up. Believe me, they will. If I can do it, anyone can do it. Really, that is a true statement. I'm not special. I just made a promise to myself, and I stuck to it. I didn't give up on myself. So that's what you need to do. So that's it for today. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day, and I will talk to you all again soon.